We're surrounded by.
Hi, I'm Hani Shamat. I'm a program coordinator with the Shared Use Mobility Center. And today we're talking with John Lancaster, Chief Development Officer with the Memphis Area Transit Authority, which was awarded an Integrated Mobility Innovation Grant from the Federal Transit Administration to support an on-demand microtransit project. So welcome, John. Thanks for joining us. So could you please introduce yourself, your agency, and the READY project?
Sure. Thank you and hello, my name is John Lancaster and I am the Chief Development Officer here at Memphis Area Transit Authority in Memphis, Tennessee. Our READY project was our first on-demand project. It's a pilot that now operates in the southwest area of Memphis, Tennessee and the Whitehaven neighborhood.
Great, thanks. And this project was originally developed as part of SUMC's MOD on-ramp program, which was supported by the FTA. Can you talk a little bit about why you pursued this project and the characteristics of the service area and basically what you learned through the development process?
Sure. The project grew out of our participation with the Shared Use Mobility Center's Mobility on Demand and the on-ramp program. We received some technical assistance that was provided by the Shared Use Mobility Center, and again, through the participation with FTA and other peer agencies. The study area had previously been explored in several short-range transit studies. The area had a great need for additional transit service, needed better access to jobs, medical services, grocery stores, and shopping. Much of the area is very low density in nature, so it's also got a high proportion of low-income people, and it's a lot of minority. The fixed route service just is very difficult to serve, and it doesn't provide good transit service. Many of these neighborhoods also, they didn't have good sidewalks, street lights, and the area is also kind of a combination of suburban and rural, which is, again, it's difficult to serve with fixed route service, so we felt that the on-demand service would be more efficient. And through the project development process, we had several public meetings, and that's how we learned a lot about the neighborhoods and their concerns about safety and security. And of course, a lot of the people had concerns about walking long distances to bus stops with the fixed route service. So this has always been a problematic issue, which we hope to resolve again with the on-demand service.
Great, thanks. And so following the project plan that was developed through the MOD on-ramp program, you were awarded an Integrated Mobility Innovation Grant to fund the implementation of this project. Can you tell us a little bit, some more details about that? For example, what vehicles you're using for READY and the technology partner and the drivers?
Sure. We selected the Ford Transit vans for use with the READY program. Matt had already been using these for our paratransit service, and these vehicles had proven to be very reliable, and they're also easily to be equipped for, made accessible for persons with disabilities. We also selected Translope to be our technology partner and provide our real-time communication service. And also we're using that service for the routing algorithm. This technology allows the customers to use both the mobile phone-based application and the phone system to make their reservations and use the app. The algorithm routes the vehicles in a very efficient manner that's based on the real-time demand from the customers, and it also provides a medium for the customers to communicate with the information and service. It uses text message to communicate the wait times between their trips and the other trip information.
Great. And can you talk a little bit about some of the benefits that READY has provided to the community?
Yes, sure. Yeah, the READY service has greatly improved our accessibility for the community to reach jobs, medical services, and educational opportunities. One of the unforeseen needs was providing transportation to local charter schools within the service zone. Testimonials from our current users also too stress that the convenience and access that the service provides for residents to get to various locations within the zone for medical, employment, shopping, and other educational needs has been very, very well received.
Great. And what community engagement or marketing efforts have there been for the service?
Yeah, MATA hosted several planning and educational outreach public meetings. We also, SUMC, participated in some of those in the very beginning of the service. That's where we used to find out, what the needs of the community were and to provide an educational outreach to the community about the service. There's also been ongoing outreach through use of social media, things like Facebook, Twitter, the MATA website. These are all used to publicize the service and, to answer questions with the public. Also, MATA has actually just recently entered into a partnership with the Memphis Grizzlies. We're using that as a platform to advertise, promote MATA's services, and as well to recruit new operators and employees.
And can you speak a little bit about how Ready interacts or integrates with other mobility options in Memphis?
Sure. The new service connects with MATA's existing fixed route bus network, and it also includes future plans for connection to our Crosstown Connector bus rapid transit line. It also connects to our Airways Transit Center, which is one of our major transit cities in kind of Southwest Memphis and Whitehaven. And then, of course, it will also connect some other on-street transfer locations that we plan to build as part of our transit vision, which will create better connections so people can transfer from fixed route bus to the on-demand service.
Now, for some agencies, implementing new technology can pose some challenges, even as it does open up new possibilities. So what barriers has MATA had to overcome with this project?
Well, I think like several other peer agencies, we have experienced several challenges implementing the new technology. And it also opens up a lot of possibilities. But right now, MATA is in the process of implementing a new fare system, and this includes mobile payments, smart cards, and new ticket vending machine. This project's been delayed due to the pandemic, and it's also created challenges implementing our Ready program. Again, a lot of these challenges, it deals with change in the technology partners due to ownership changes. Some of the technologies have been, or the companies have been bought and then sold. And of course, as you try to integrate the technology so that one application can talk to the other application. And again, that has been some of our biggest challenges.
And what solutions have you tried to address these?
There's been a whole host of those, but I don't know the simple solution, or we've had to change some providers, and again, just dealing with new people as they come and leave some of the company. There's always turnover and processes, and of course, the pandemic really slowed down a lot of the processes. People weren't available to program some of the things, and they've come and left different organizations. So it's just been a long, challenging process.
I imagine. So what outcomes and impacts from this project have you seen so far?
Well, implementation of the whole Ready program has been very beneficial to both MATA's customers, and it's had a lot of, I think, positive impacts for our service delivery. We were fortunate to have the new service operational as we come out of the COVID pandemic. And so it's been growing to meet our customer demand, and it also provided a lot of flexibility to furnish more transit services due to a shortage of operators, and especially those with commercial driver's license. As we came out of the pandemic, our fixed route ridership was much lower. And so providing good fixed route service into a lot of these low density neighborhoods was really a challenge. And of course, we lost some CDL operators, many retired early, things like that. So we had to use kind of the implementation of our Ready Zone service in other areas to help offset that operator shortage, since to operate the on-demand zones, we don't have to have a CDL or a commercial driver's license. So that helped free up some of the demand for operators and give us a lot more flexibility to implement the program, and actually somewhat in a way a lifesaver that we had this already up and running and able to expand it to a couple of different areas of the city.
Now, on the topic of that expansion, can you talk about why you chose the new areas, the new zones for expansions?
Well, some of that was because of the fixed route service didn't work as efficient in some of these areas. And again, because of the driver and operator shortage, and they had a lot of similar areas as far as the demographics being low density, minority, low income. So again, it was just a kind of a perfect replication of what we had done in our pilot program with the IMI grant in the first zone, to apply this in a couple other areas that we were looking at. So we weren't essentially caught off guard, and we already had some experience. So it was able to transition to these couple of new areas very rapidly.
Great, thanks. And what opportunities do you see for Ready's future?
Well, we're working with the Memphis Metropolitan Planning Organization and doing some other transit service. We're doing a study which really updates our transit vision. And we're looking at several other potential new zones to expand the service. And of course, these are kind of an ongoing study. And we really look to use this in several different areas of the city. And of course, going through the planning process, we work more with the neighborhoods to find out, what will work best for them. In a way, it's replicating some things we did in the pilot program in a larger way to several different zones.
And then what are the main challenges and lessons learned from this project? Or what advice would you give to a peer agency looking to implement something similar?
I would say our largest challenge has been implementation of the new technologies, especially the integration with the new fare system and the various mobile apps. Again, I think I mentioned earlier, the change in technology partners and just people turnover within some of the organizations in the industry. It's created a lot of challenges. And again, some of the larger companies have invested and then they divested in some of the other smaller tech firms. And so things like that's created a lot of issues and challenging for the agencies. So, and of course, we'll say, having a good planning process is kind of imperative for developing these long-term projects. And that way too, it helps us to obtain funding to go after the grants and things like the IMI grant, which was very beneficial in getting our program up and off the ground. And of course, with every community, it's unique. So all the plans, it's best if they can reflect the needs of their community.
And is there anything else you'd like to share about Ready?
I would just say that MATA was very fortunate to have the prior plans in place, to seek out these fundings and to get the technical support from the Shared Use Mobility Center and the FTA. The IMI project really, helped get the funding in place for the pilot program, and the coordination between the Shared Use Mobility Center and the other peer agencies, was really instrumental in helping us make our program be successful. So, and demand for our program and the ridership is continuing to grow. So we are really looking forward to expand the program and grow it over time.